Hello, fabulous Pisces. Welcome to your Jupiter special horoscope covering Jupiter moving into the sign of Libra from September 2016 right to October of 2017. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. We've got this beautiful move of Jupiter into a part of the sky for you that is going to benefit you and shape you and change you in positive ways and in ways that have the potential to last for the rest of your life. So what we have taking place now is as Jupiter moves into a part of the sky that has to do with a few things, a whole lot of things. It has to do with wealth and wealth building. It has to do with passive income. It has to do with being richer, expanding a sense of your ability and your right to have the type of prosperity that you want. So there's that financial part of it that's covered by this part of the sky. There's also a love part that's covered by this part of the sky, and it has to do with a meaningful connection. It has to do with something, a relationship that feels substantial and a relationship that has the potential to be transformative in your life. And this part of the sky also has to do with change. It has to do with a rebirth of sorts, the kind that affirms you. This is healing. This is endings that you consciously choose so that you can be who it is that you truly are meant to be now and in the world. So let's take it one at a time, okay? And let's start with the money part, because this is always a blessing. And this can be a time when you absolutely can see your income go through a positive boost. But it's a little bit different than your opposite sign, Virgo. Quite a bit different, actually, because this is about money that builds, okay? So this is about building wealth, and this is about what we like to call other people's money. So this is grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns, benefits that you may qualify for. This has to do with a sense of you being able to attract what it is that you need. So rather than it just being about, okay, if I do this, then I'm going to be able to make this much more an hour, I can get a little bit of a pay raise, and that'll help my salary. This is more like you doing something right now that you know is going to create money for you for a long time to come. Or this is about you being able to access resources and access the money you need so that you can start something new, or so that you can start to put something into practice. You can start your own business. This is about you realizing that you're ready for a change in the way that you make money, and you're able to attract the funding you need to help you make that change. So that's the type of money that we're looking at. We're also looking at things like tax returns as well. So you could get an even better than expected return under a particular sky like this. And we've also just got lots of protection around all matters of money. Now, this is a really good cycle for you to be learning about things like passive income, right? You can look at it on YouTube. There are tons of ways to create passive income for yourself. This is a good time for you to be focused on what is it you need to do to help you create a greater sense of passive income, to help you to put in energy now that you know and you believe will create greater prosperity for you, not only in the immediacy, but in the bigger picture of your life for a long time to come as well. So once you do the work, it's done. You don't have to keep doing something, you know, by the hour on the hour, but rather you've done the work, you've put it into place, and now you're ready to go off in new directions. Now you're ready to start something new. And you know that that will continue to make money for you. So there are a whole lot of things that you can do. This is that time when you start to tap into that knowledge and you start to put things into place that will create prosperity for you for many years to come. So this is really about assets and accumulating assets that can continue paying. This also tends to be a really good time to invest your money. Now, I just want to give you a little bit of a caution with that, because as I look at the sky coming up ahead, Jupiter is going to be speaking with Pluto, and Jupiter will speak with Uranus and Saturn as well. So what you want to be mindful of, and I will be here going along week to week, especially in the weekly horoscopes, letting you know when's when, what's what. But what you really want to do with this particular energy is you want to avoid the pressure of investing when Jupiter is speaking with Pluto, and you want to instead amplify and utilize the times when Jupiter is speaking with Uranus and Saturn in order to time your investments and to even just receive the information properly. And so it's one thing for someone to give you a great tip, a stock tip at a certain time frame. That's one thing. But you really want to be paying attention and listening and being open to what type of information finds you, what your intuition is telling you, particularly as we move towards those golden time frames as Jupiter is speaking with Uranus, speaking with Saturn. So let me give you a little bit of examples, because as I look at Jupiter and Pluto, I mean, this could be a friend asking you to invest in something, or friendship in general feeling like it's demanding a lot of your energy, right? That's a resource as well that you have. Energy in terms of you, your emotional energy, but also just in terms of financially as well. So you just want to be a little bit mindful of that, because that can be something that, you know, can put you in a little bit of an interesting place, a little bit of a precarious place at that. And you want to also be mindful, I gotta say, any kind of financial advice that comes from a friend, be super mindful of that. I would advise you that maybe that's not the best source of financial advice and inspiration just right about now, okay? The people that you may want to be paying more attention to, who actually end up being more helpful to you, are actually like experts. So experts of any kind can be super helpful to you in terms of you deciding on where it is you're going to put your money and how you're going to invest your money, and even where it comes to creating passive income streams for yourself as well. So there is a lot of luck there, but it's about using it well and being smart about where it is that you're getting your information and where it is that you're getting your advice. But absolutely, like, you know, I like to give it an example. Now, this was way back in the day. This was a whole lot of years ago. And I remember at the time I was working in a call center. I was working for a cell phone company, major cell phone company, in a call center in Canada, in Toronto. And I remember hearing a rumor, like there was a rumor that Apple was going to come out with a phone, and the iPod was really new at the time, and Apple was going to come out with a phone. And I remember telling one of the managers there, like, oh my God, Apple's going to come out with a phone. It's going to be huge. You watch, it's going to be so big. And he said to me, who needs that? Like, you can already have iTunes on your Motorola. You don't need that. That doesn't make any sense. Like, I remember him saying this to me. And I remember at the time thinking, you know, I should really buy a stock, an Apple stock. But I was a student, you know, I was in university at the time. I'm pretty sure if I bought one, I would have had to cash it out for one thing or another so between now and then. Certainly that would have happened because I had tuition payments and all that kind of stuff. But I remember at that time thinking, I should buy a stock. This is going to be something big. It was my intuition telling me that. I didn't pay attention. It was a learning opportunity. And of course, you know, the rest is history. But that's okay. You know, all my love, positive energy goes there as well. What's supposed to be yours will be yours anyways, as my dad always taught me. So you can hold that as true as well. Don't, you know, it's really important not to say what could have happened. It is what it is. And the universe is abundant. There's always going to be more opportunities. Having said that, if you have an intuition, maybe buy a stock, you know, maybe just buy one stock, so that you honored your intuition. If your intuition is leading you in a certain direction, don't break the bank at all. I'm a really firm believer in that. Don't make investments that you feel are just taking too much, because this can end up, you know, creating a situation where you feel tired all around. So you just want to be mindful of that. But if you are paying attention, then this can be a time when you get just the right tip, the right inspiration, the right intuition, and that can pay off for you in the long run in a really big way. So you want to pay attention to stuff like that. With this given sky, so I've talked quite a bit about the financial part of it so far. Financially speaking, this can also be really good for your spouse's income. So especially if you live with somebody or you share resources in some way, your spouse could end up creating greater prosperity in their life, and that ends up benefiting you as well. So you can notice some positive occurrences take place on that front. Also, where it comes to love as well, if you're in an established bond, of course, spouse's income, but also this is where love grows deeper. So last year you had Jupiter moving through part of the sky that had to do with partnership. This is where the love grows deeper. This is where it transforms into something that reaches into your soul and seems spiritually meaningful to you, where you feel like you are with who you are supposed to be with. If you're with somebody that you know you're not supposed to be with, this is that change. This is the conscious ending that takes place, because this part of the sky also has to do with endings you choose and secrets you consciously keep. So endings you consciously choose, secrets you consciously keep. This part of the sky can make it so that if you know that you've been in a relationship that you don't want to be in for a long time now, this is where you choose and allow those healthy closures to take place. For those of you who are open to meeting someone new, it is going to be love that provides the foundation for some truly transformative experiences. I would be careful of making a friend into a lover or thinking that a friendship could become a relationship, because it looks like it might be different. People can be very different in friends and friendship as they can be in love. Sometimes it works when they cross that bridge, sometimes not so easily. And that may be the case with this, particularly if you initiate something or something seems to start right around Jupiter and Pluto speaking. So that's the time frame you want to watch a little bit. But outside of that, you've got some really lovely indicators here of attracting somebody into your life that helps you know yourself more deeply, that helps change you in ways that you really like, in positive ways, that helps you get in touch with a sense of inner resources, of positive things within you, that helps you to see what it is that you can do to create a greater sense of abundance in every area of life, financially, but otherwise as well. And also someone who might be a real healing presence in your life also. Very possible with a sky like this. So that's with love. The other part of the sky, the other part of life that this part of the sky has to do with, has to do with psychoanalysis. It has to do with therapy. So if you are in a place where you know that whether you've been meaning to go to therapy, whether you know on some level that there's some transformation that needs to happen, some change that needs to happen within you, this year, you going in that process could be tremendously rewarding for you. It'll challenge you, okay? It will, as therapy should. It'll challenge you in healthy ways, in some ways that might be a little uncomfortable, but also can facilitate some amazing breakthroughs that change you, possibly for the rest of your life and for the better. So if you've been stuck, if you feel stuck in any kind of situation, in any kind of place of being, and you feel like you want to change, then engaging in some process of therapy, like committing to going once every 2 weeks, right? Over the course of a year, which ends up being like, what, 23 times or whatever. Given the extension, 25 times it'll be. Going 25 times, right? Or even half of that, going 12 times, once every 2 weeks. Seeing somebody who's a student, right? Who charges you like very little, or going to a nonprofit organization where you can get therapy for free. Utilizing these types of resources, regardless of where you are, but utilizing this resource can, just walking in and saying, I haven't had love in a long time, my last relationships didn't work, that's why I'm here. I, haven't been able to break beyond a certain threshold in my money, that's why I'm here. Whatever it is that you desire to change, right? If you have body issues, body acceptance issues, go to therapy. It is going to end up being a very healing experience for you, very rewarding experience for you, but you got to commit, because there are going to be times when you don't like it. And that's when you have to sort of bring yourself over. Now that doesn't mean you should, if you go to a therapist the first time and you're not really feeling a connection, that's okay. But if you go to a therapist for a first time and you know that you don't like it, but you know it's good for you, that's a different intuitive signal. So that's what you want to pay attention to, because that process could end up being tremendously rewarding for you. If that is not a process you're interested in, you're thinking about going down, self-help books can go a long way right about now. The self-help books you read now can change you in positive ways. That information can stay with you and continue to have a positive influence on your life for a very long time to come. And I would encourage you to read a book. It was a huge bestseller way back in the day called The Road Less Traveled. The Road Less Traveled by Scott M. Peck. It was It was a huge bestseller. It is considered a classic by some people. And that talks about, it's a self-help book, so you're utilizing that angle of it, but also talks about the therapeutic process and the value of the therapeutic process. So you can look at it from that perspective as well, but that may end up being something that is beneficial to you, that helps you to make whatever it is, whatever needs to change, whatever needs to shift. And again, this is only if you feel, or you have been feeling like something needs to shift, something needs to change. This will allow you to do just that. We will have this year for you, this 13-month cycle for you, that allow you to undertake a process of a significant rebirth, very possible with a sky like this. If you have felt that there have been some issues, health-related issues, that need some sort of a deep transformation to take place in order to heal it, if there have been any emotional parts of a physical issue, very good cycle for healing. Also, just on another level, this part of the sky also has to do with surgery. So if you should need surgery, you have lots of blessing to have it go very well for you. Again, time it well, okay? Time it right. Time it according to, especially with Jupiter speaking with Saturn. And again, I'll be talking about it as we go along week to week. But time it according to the Jupiter, in particular Jupiter and Saturn. If it's something very experimental, you want to bring Uranus into it as well. But regardless, you've got lots of cosmic support to have very positive outcomes all around. What I love about this Jupiter cycle for you is that you come to know what wealth really is, deeply and personally. You come to understand that there is tremendous prosperity within you, emotionally, and in your life as well. And you're able to acknowledge and appreciate all the ways in which the universe has blessed you. And by doing so, by appreciating the abundance you already have, you're able to magnify it that much more, creating a real sense of being made richer over the coming months, and a very strong cycle financially, being made richer emotionally, and literally richer as well as we move through this very inspiring time. Well, thank you so much for watching this Jupiter special. I'm so grateful for it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up. It truly means so much. And connect with me, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, my website, nadiyashah.com, Instagram, and the YouTube comments as well. It'll be a great year. Enjoy. Until we connect again, take care.